Hi Leo, welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Leo, this is your love reading starting today on the 29th of October 2020. And I do apologize for it has taken a bit of while to get it up there. I I've been feeling the energy these days, I have to say. It started with technical difficulties, and it sort of hasn't really. I was coming back there for a bit, and then it feels like I've gone into this hermit mode and I just stay there. And sometimes these videos actually help me to get back on track because I need to get into a certain space to get the messages to come through. But I've been in this place where nah, I don't want to. I don't even gonna attempt it because it feels like I've had enough to take care of myself, and I feel inspired to share this with you. And so probably this is going on very much collectively. Like there's a lot of people, or maybe you don't really understand what's going on with you. These are down to ascension symptoms. I just have to say though, this time around, there's major stuff happening. Like there's not just Mercury going retrograde. This is not just. It feels like it's all things combined. So that's where we're at. And so recently, I could have just adjusted it with more meditation or just keep track of my water intake or whatever. But this time around, it's like whether I've been meditating in the morning and night, tending to whenever I need to sleep. Water, all of that, it's like still it hasn't put me in enough balance for me to wanting to be. And I guess I shouldn't say there's not balance, because I could be in balance on the inside, but not sort of so much wanting to participate on what's going on the outside. And so that it has taken me a while to get to this point, and I'm not quite like still don't want to go out and see people. I'm back here, I can do this, but if somebody were to invite me to some place right now, I would strongly say no. That's how it feels. So maybe you're vibing with that. Maybe you understand where I'm coming from with this energy. And so maybe you're struggling a tiny bit with yourself. And so I hope that you find some sort of space, serenity, peace, calm around you. So let's see, Leo, what's going on in terms of your love life. Could be interesting since this energy is going on. So I'm using this mystical wisdom deck. Beautiful. That's how it looks on the on the back of it. Just as a one card thing, and I'm going over to the basic decks that I'm usually using. So what story can we get here? Wow, resilience. And this resilience word has been following me around, so I am going to start to pay attention to this reading. Sometimes the reading is not for me whatsoever. I'm a Leo as well. So sometimes the reading is not for me whatsoever, and sometimes it's very much for me. So when the resilience word comes out, I know it's for me as well. So resilience is just keep at it. Don't give up. Keep going. And this is my Cinderella story. So it fits perfectly with resilience this time, because it's almost like Cinderella would have had like a Groundhog Day. Have you seen that movie? I love that movie. It's an oldie. It's sort of quite telling on my age, but it's when stuff just keeps. I think it's Bill Murray, is it not? And Andy McDowell, perhaps. I might be right on that one. And I'm quite surprised how easy all the names are coming, because usually I have a really tough time remembering the names. And so it's about like Måndag hela veckan, it's called in Swedish, like Monday all week long. They translated Groundhog Day into Monday all week long, because we don't have Groundhog Day here in Sweden. So it's like when you wake up and you have the same story over and over and over again. So maybe there's something to it for you, that you felt like you have the same story being repeated over and over again. And what I'm getting here with this card is it's like you would have had Cinderella have the same story happen over and over again. At 12 o'clock, like she gets those fancy clothes, is it the mice into horses? We turn the pumpkin into a carriage and all of that, and at midnight that's sort of being stripped away. it's sort of that thing that would happen over and over again. Groundhog Day, Cinderella story, Groundhog Day style, I should say. And I would understand, like, oh man, at the 10th time or the 50th time that is happening, you sort of want to give up. Like, can I get to keep my prince? Can I get to, can we not, like, can the other shoe not drop? It's so many symbolic things in here. Can we just keep both shoes on? And so you're being asked right now to, like, okay, so you will have your Cinderella story, and it's not gender specific. You're gonna get to keep your prince, you're gonna get to keep your princess. This is something about, like, overcoming obstacles and just keep at it. And this is in terms of your love story. So there's something probably that has been a bit tough for you in the past, which means, I don't know even if you're like borderline in giving up on, is there really a Cinderella story or prince story like out there for me? And it is. It definitely is. So let's get some foundation for your love story, please. I'm using the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland. So I just want to show you. Beautiful cards. Leo, I hope you're doing okay out there in the midst of everything that's going on. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag here, but let's see. Interesting. Okay, so number 4 is what we're starting on. Number 4 is all about the heart. It is a bit of, I don't get Cinderella, but I get Sleeping Beauty, like how the Sleeping Beauty clothes, like the colors of Sleeping Beauty is looking. So it's a bit of a fairy tale theme that's going on here. Open up. So with this card, I do get that this is like, your what do you call that? Shredding. Is that what it's called? Shredding? Like you're like you I don't know what that's called in English. Like the snakes, they're shifting their skin, the literal skin, they're crawling out of the old skin and getting into a new one. Shedding skin. It's coming out from like an old cycle into a new cycle. This is stripping away the old behaviors and leaving something I strongly get. So maybe, I don't know if this is for all, but there's something about forgiving forgiving the past. And as I start to talk about this, I get an itch in my throat. But isn't it beautiful when the sun is highlighting exactly how damaged my hair is? It's so fun. That's so fun. Anyway, who cares? I do, apparently, because I needed to point it out. Yeah, forgiving the past, shedding. So it's not a one-time opportunity. It's not a once-in-a-lifetime situation here for you, Leos. I just feel like this is like you're in the midst of a situation where, and I guess we can tie it into what I just started, like I started off the reading talking about, how we are now, like, it is a very changing time. It's time for more and more people to wake up, more and more people to, like the readings I've had in the past here now is just unbelievable alignment and opening up of the Cancer reading was unbelievable in terms of opening up your psychic centers and your psychic abilities. And I feel that more and more people are just coming in to their more awake state, to the more aware state. And in terms of doing that, we have to let go of the past in a sense, that sort of weighs, that has the heavier energy there, that weighs us down. And in terms of your love life, it strongly comes through that, like, forgiving the past and to not sort of touch too much on it and awaken again old vibration that doesn't need to be awoken. And it ties in beautifully with sort of shedding that skin and moving on into the new version of you. And it feels like that is happening right now. Like you have a big opportunity to forgiving the past as we speak and move on, so that you can get out of this sort of old version of you, shedding the skin, old version of you, and stepping into the new. Open up. And then it's so interesting because this is a very significant message for some of you guys, because if you put these together, we have like a 9/11 situation here. So 9/11 might really mean something for some of you guys, especially if you're living in America. What I'm getting here though is 9/11, when that comes through for me, it just talks about leader, how you're about to step into like a leadership role. So that's going on. We're having an ending. So here's what I'm picking up. Let's do one card at a time. Still in your love story, rest and reconsider. This is like the hermit mode feeling that I picked up for you as well, or I wouldn't have told you that that was going on for me. So we're coming out of some sort of being alone, thinking about ourselves, for ourselves, ending something there, and then also the unconditioned, stepping into almost not caring what's going on around us, but almost like deciding to be happy just cause. Why are you happy? Because I can. Okay, but why? Because I chose it. I'm choosing to be happy now because I can. So that's the unconditioned, and it feels like you started to walk towards this new version, this new path of you. And definitely the forgiving past in terms of your love life, the new version of you, the unconditional version of you, stepping into this, detach, letting go, is like stepping through this portal. And it's interesting because I see like in the back there, it looks like, yes, she's stepping through this portal. We had the number 11 there, which is all about the portals. And 11/11 is coming up, the 11th of November. It feels so significant because it's such in an alignment numbers as well. 11/11. But this is like if this were presented as your shadow, like the shadow is white. So it's like in the detachment, this is like the death card, and the death always brings life. So detach, and you're letting go of the white dove, like you're setting it free. And so it's like the shadow work that you've done, I almost dare to say that it's a done deal. It's like it's done. There's no more shadow work to deal with. There's no more like inner wounding, no more childhood trauma that needs to be located or... And if you go, oh man, there's like so much more, I feel like it really isn't. If you can just step forward, if you can just keep at it in this, keep at it, understand, like be resilient, and now keep moving forward. And actually almost don't look back and just keep moving forward into the new energy. Let's choose Snow White instead. She was asleep. Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. She was asleep for 100 years and then she woke up. And she opens up and she moves on into the future and the future version of you. It's almost looking like, I'm sorry for saying this, but it almost looks like a Venus, like a vulva, like a Venus, like the V there. Like we're opening up and really stepping into the future of the new version. Again, it's not gender specific, so this is very much like about the feminine energy. To the point, you've done this work, to the point where you're letting go that you have a white shadow. And detaching, releasing the past. Wow. Can we go deeper into this? And in terms of their love story, what can we tell them? What can we tell Leo, please? Going deeper into this. again. So number 13, I just said that with the so interesting, with the divine feminine stepping in with the Venus there. So we have 13. This is almost like the death card. It's detached, but it's like the death of the old and turning into the new. And death, transformation, death, 13, release. Let go. I want to read out. Let go of the past. It's amazing. How can I not? This is every hair on my freaking being is standing up. This is borderlining ridiculous that I've not been able to see this before. I haven't had this card a gazillion times, but I've had it enough times for me to really being able to see. It's so interesting, and it so ties into the how it's sometimes. Oh man, I'm saying 10 things at the same time here now. I'm just overwhelmed at sometimes how things are. Sometimes it almost feels like something happens, and it happens 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, only so that 5, 10, or 20 years later, something happens that ties into the very thing that happened then. That was like, why the hell is this happening? Only to sort of show up 20 years later and almost show off. Like, this is what we had in plan for you all along. And we know you were a bit frustrated at the time, but you just wait. In the bigger scheme of things, you know, it will make sense in the future. And when something shows up that many years later, only to like not prove a point, but it's like to solve a whole freaking puzzle. I hope you're with me. It's like things can sort of come later on that just that only you get. You'll watch a movie and something is being said in that movie, just like, oh my god, like, okay, so that's being put into place. So release. So we just talked about it, like how we're releasing the past. There's, like I said, it's such a strong message coming through with forgiving the past and moving on, opening up and moving on to the new version of you. Don't look back. It's yet another, like a death, transformation, release card here. Stepping into the divine feminine. On the bottom it says, let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities. It's time to move on. And then, if you listened to me before, and I hope you would please work with me. There you go. Don't dare to move it closer. If you look at this photo, I've never seen this before, and it's almost like it was planned for me not to be able to see this before, because I am a detail. Like when I get a card, I look at that card and I look thoroughly at the card, especially when I've had some decks for ages. You know, you get to know the cards, you know, every single shift in them. For the life of me, I've not seen the peacock in this card, and for the life of me, I've not seen the peacock feathers around her. She's not a big peacock, and still she has peacock feathers all around her. She's a fairy. And in front of her, in the corner, down corner here, there's a peacock with the feathers all like, and I've never seen this. And so it's almost like today is the day. It almost makes myself cry. Today is the day when you release, Leo, when you release the past, let the bygones be bygones now. Like, forgive the past. And in terms of love life, that's what's coming through the strongest. And if you listened to me before, you know that peacocks and unicorns are my indicator. It just, between me and my guides, that's just, I can't explain it. It just has become that way. Peacocks and the unicorns have sort of come through long before we started to see unicorns everywhere, because now it's sort of in fashion that unicorns, you know, we have stuffed animals and we have sheets and we have, I don't know how many things we have that's unicorns now, but That was even before. Unicorns and peacocks came through as an indicator of the soulmate connection, that your soulmate is here. But what I love about this is not only that the soulmate is here on the bottom corner there, is you are the soulmate. You are the peacock. Which means once you release the past, once you step into this divine feminine, you open up and you step into this new version of you. You're letting go of the past to the point where you have a white shadow. You're becoming the peacock yourself, which means you'll attract only the right connection for you. It's so beautiful. And then the other card that came out is the Tower. And it's number 16. And number 16, it's almost like, so I want to say this first. It's interesting because this came out first. I wanted to talk about this first and then this. It would have made more sense, like typically more sense, if the Tower came out first. We needed to shift a few things around, and then we step into this peacock feather situation. I love that I haven't seen this before. But it doesn't. This is coming out first, and then 16 is all about sudden shift and sudden changes. And it says life experience. On the bottom, we have let go of belief systems that no longer work for you. An important life-changing event. A situation that leads to significant opportunities. So this is what it feels like. First we release. First we detach. First we release. First we have this transformation. Turning ourselves into this white shadow. I love how it's a white shadow. We're releasing the past. We're moving on. We're transforming and becoming the soulmate material ourselves. You're becoming the peacock, showing off your new version. And then we have the Tower. It's like then everything happens, and when it happens, it'll happen fast. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's interesting. 7 butterflies there on the bottom, which stands for transformation. And when this Tower situation happens, it's going to happen for the better. Everything is going to shift for you for the better in terms of your love life. I love this. And it's the 3rd purple border. So it's like, it's a lot of spiritual growth, spiritual awakening that's going on here for you now. Wow, guys. Leo. What else for Leo in terms of this love story? Can we tell them? I'm sorry I didn't say that. Fairy Tarot Cards by Doreen Virtue is what I've used for the clarifiers there. Ooh. Yeah. You're free. You're gonna heal. There's a Northern Star there again. The Northern Star has been following me around quite a bit. And sometimes I'm starting to get messages before I'm doing these readings. So, and wow, that's really interesting. Because look, if I'm doing this, it's going to be a completely different light. But the sun is coming in so strong here, and I don't want to move it. Like, so you see how much I'm in the shade and this card is in the light. So I'm just going to keep it here. This is like, you're healing now. You're letting go. The shackles are letting go. You're letting go. You see how the chains here, they're breaking on the sides here. Maybe you see that. Oh, sorry. Better if I do this. The chains are breaking. Complete healing. And then we have number 17, which is all about immortality. Like, you're stepping into this immortal never-endingness of you, infinity. If you reduce it down, we have a number 8 there. So it's endless possibility. It's so above, so below, so in heaven, so on earth. So you're strongly bringing something in now. You're bringing your healing to a close. So whatever's been going on for you, Leo, it's major healing taking place in terms of your love life. In terms of that inner wounding, probably even as far back as your childhood. not just with a love like partner. It's what you've seen growing up. It's like what type of love were you surrounding yourself with? Maybe not on purpose when you're 6 years old, but you know, it's so beautiful. You're healing, your shackles are coming off, the chains are being broken. It's no longer holding you in place. You're free, Leo. You're free to choose something completely different, and you will. Can we clarify that, please? It's very sunny in here. I love how the sun is coming in, and the sun is your element. The sun is coming back. Joy is coming back. Happiness is coming back. The Magician. Yeah. Number 1, new beginnings. On the bottom it says you can do anything. Take charge of your life. You can manifest what you need to be a success. How can we have that so we see? I love how there's red roses on the side there, talking about the love, and how you have like the northern star in one hand, and then you have this, what do you call that? Spira. Staff, crystal staff. The Magician. Like, you can literally do anything right now. You're stepping into this most, it's so interesting because it's like this love, wherever you felt in bondage around love, whenever you forgive the past around love, is when you also step into your true power. So wherever, it might feel like it's a far-fetched here, and it feels like what does that have to do with anything? I think it has to do with everything. That, so for instance, if you try to manifest, if you've been wanting to step into your true authentic power, for your true potential, magician-like powers, wanting to manifest things, it feels like it's so tied in together with the love. So whenever you release the past around love woundings in terms of relationships, not only will you attract your soulmate partner, person here, but you'll attract everything else because you'll become the magician. And I just realized the magnolias there on the bottom. The magnolias, I've been talking about them because before we didn't see them. When the sun was too strong, I only saw the roses on one side. And I said that the rose, for the longest time, I've had the rose as the highest vibration out of all the flowers. But then the magnolias kept coming up. And after a while there, I did some research. And the magnolias actually they were coexisting with the dinosaurs. And so they've been living like for over 20 million years ago. And somebody questioned, like, how could that be? How could that be? Because we didn't have any bees then. And actually they were the only flower that could survive through anything. And they were in coexistence to keep them alive with the beetles, like a black beetle that fertilized them. So they could keep growing, and now they're like in 400 different branching outs from magnolias, like the very original flower. And it was so much like magic around it, how it could survive, how it could just keep reinventing itself and keep growing through the most trying times. No other flowers existing but the magnolia. And so now it is associated with the magician and with magic. And first I didn't see it, saw the highest potential vibration in terms of love here through the rose. But then, hey, why not take it one step further, move over the path here to the other side with crystals, crystalline energy, turning into the magician, letting go of the past, and now instead use the magnolia energy. So it's really beautiful what you're stepping into. It feels like the love life and the true authentic power of you goes hand in hand for some reason. I'm going to go deeper and find out more about this. It's so fascinating. As another number 1 here, I just saw new beginnings here. We have number 1 with 17, and we have 2 number 1s there with 11. So we have 11, 11 on the table, you could say, even more, even, oh my God. And 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually have 6 number 1s here as well. We had 6 number 1s for Cancer as well. I didn't see that. We have 16 and 13. We have 17 and 11. But one stands out is the number 1 and 11 because they're clear. It's just alignment. Beautiful. Come to the extended if you feel like you're drawn to it. Then the link is in the description box down below. If not, thank you so much for watching and hope to see you back soon, Leo. Take care.